Jake Lightgibb, the quarterback, has had a good spring, a good practice over the summer, and they may throw the ball deep this game and this season. A couple of the assistant coaches told me pay particular attention to Marko Vidakovic, number 5, and they said he's had an outstanding summer practice and jamboree.
Yeah, I would definitely consider Vidakovic being one of the holdovers from last year that definitely caught our attention, and you could see the talent rising throughout the year, and now getting an opportunity in his senior year to really stand out for the Lincoln Cardinals, as we're just about 3 minutes away from kickoff for the Canby Cougars playing host to the Lincoln Cardinals. The Cougars are on the near side of your screen in those navy and Vegas gold uniforms. Meanwhile, the Lincoln Cardinals are approaching you from the far side of the screen as we get ready for the coin toss. Get week 1 started in just a few moments.
You know, this sort of seems like old home week to me. 1988, 89, and 90, I actually broadcast all of the Canby Cougar football games. I did it on KWBY Radio and North Willamette Telecom, and I got particularly attached to the Cougars, so there's always this little strain of me that kind of looks back to see how the Cougars are doing. Well, last year not so good. Tonight we'll see.
We shall see indeed. Of course, a little bit of a revenge game for the Cougars. These two teams, they wouldn't play each other 2 years in a row very often, but that is the case despite not being in the same league, of course. You know, one thing you pointed out to me, a little bit of an oddity for the Lincoln Cardinal roster, you pointed out there's actually a few players that don't attend Lincoln High School. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, actually, Charles Wilmot, who we'll see a lot of tonight and is an outstanding player, goes to Oregon Episcopal School. Kenya Sai, the offensive lineman, goes to Catlin Gable, and Nate Paradis goes to Catlin Gable. Those schools do not have football teams. Those students live in the Lincoln district, and so they're playing tonight for Lincoln. Another thing on the roster you and I were talking about before the game started, we noted number 19 for the Lincoln Cardinal. The name is Luciana Nicholson. I checked with the coaching staff. That is a girl.
So there is a female on the roster for the Lincoln Cardinals. Good for her. I saw her taking a few bumps out there in practice. She's going to take it.
All right, because we looked and we saw it in the roster. She was 5'1", 115.
5'1", 115 certainly does stand out, but excellent for her, and I'm really looking forward to watching her out on the field.
Coach Johnson told me, too, he said, pay attention, watch Jake Lightgibb tonight. He is going to Washington next year, and he has a partial scholarship. He wants to play football there.
Pretty exciting for that young man. The offense will be ran through Jake Lightgibb at the helm at the quarterback position. He split time a lot of the time last year. One thing that's notable now, when you're looking at a week 1 roster at this level of football, you have to take it with a grain of salt. But Jake Lightgibb, the only quarterback listed on this entire roster. Now, of course, God forbid if something were to happen, I'm sure they have a plan for a backup. But Lightgibb, he's got to feel pretty good knowing that he is the guy going into this season, as it looks like Lincoln will receive and start things off offensively.
Max Prep rates these teams at the beginning of the season. Lincoln is ranked number 28. Canby number 42 among 6A schools. Highest PIL ranked team is Grant at 24.
So kicking off will be Chance Miller. You'll also see him as a starting wide receiver for the Canby Cougars. Two young men back to receive for the Lincoln Cardinals. This one goes to the far side of the field, caught there right at the 20, running just a few yards, about a 5-yard return. And Lincoln will get things started going left to right. It was Wilmot on the return. And you just mentioned Wilmot, one of these stars of the offense, somebody we expect to shine throughout this season. This is his sophomore year.
What impressed me last year was his play on defense at cornerback.
Looks like they'll start out at about the 26.5-yard line. So 4 receivers set to start things out. One man in the backfield, Jake Lightgeb, directing traffic. First play of the season. One man in motion. They hand it off, getting to the outside. Now cuts back across the 40, spins, stays on his feet across the 45. You couldn't ask for a better start for the Lincoln offense. One play, and they'll move the chains. It's Wilmot on the run.
14 yards on the pickup for Wilmot.
Lightgeb having a conversation with the sideline, setting up the play here. Near side receiver, that's Marko Vidakovic. Keep an eye on him. Moving left to right, the Lincoln Cardinals in their red and white jerseys. See the Cardinal logo on their helmets. Snap looking to the right. Vidakovic has coverage, and it's overthrown. Number 25 of the defense, that's Jaden Brewer. Nice coverage by that young man.
Vidakovic got bumped at the line of scrimmage. That might have slowed him up because that's a timing play. Lightgeb put it out there. Vidakovic was just about 3 yards short of running under it.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Lincoln Cardinals, just shy of midfield.
Vidakovic changed sides of the field. He's now out on the left.
Out there at the receiver position, you also see number 25, Charles Wilmot. But we saw in the first play of the game, he was in motion and then took it out of the backfield. But now in that slot position. Snap, rolling left is Lightgeb. Has a few options, but overthrown again. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd down, intended for Wilmot. You can see Wilmot, even though that was overthrown, he had a little bit of a hop to him.
And of course, adrenaline may have something to do with that ball being a little overthrown.
Yeah,
we'll see if he settles down.
These kids have got to be excited. You wait all summer to get back out on the field. Some of these players doing double duty on the baseball squad.
You know, you're a right-handed quarterback and you roll left. That's a tough throw anyway.
So one player that we're not too familiar with from previous season is Brady Kopetz. You see him in the backfield. He's number 8. We've been told to keep an eye on him. He has a block there out on the corner. That one's caught, but short of the 1st down. And you hear the Canby Cougar crowd here. Certainly pumped for the stop by the defense.
That's a pickup on that throw of 6 yards.
So 4th and 5, and it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field. So just underway, about a minute and a half off the clock, and a big moment here for the Lincoln Cardinals. No score, 4th down. Man in motion, they give it to Wilmot. This is the same play that they got big yards on to start the game, and looks like he got enough. It's going to be close.
Great second effort by Wilmot that time to get that last yard.
Very close, but I think he got it. Yeah, they're signaling to move the chains. So Wilmot has gotten the handoff 2 times and is responsible for 2 first downs.
20 yards on those 2 carries for Wilmot.
So now at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10. And Jeremy Johnson looks like a genius. He's 1 for 1 in 4th down conversions to start the year. So 2 receivers set, 2 men in the backfield, Wilmot in motion. They're going to hand it off, but nowhere to go is the young man Brady Kopetz. So he is just a sophomore, but he's a big kid, stands in at 6'2", 215.
Hit at the line of scrimmage, no gain, 2nd and 10.
So Kopetz, a minor limp going to the sideline, perhaps shaken up on that last play. Checking into the game, I believe it was 20, is that 26?
Yes.
Okay, drops back over the middle. Little dangerous, incomplete. 26 is Jack Franzen. He's a sophomore running back. You know, Dave, it's a beautiful field here in Canby, the artificial turf. You mentioned to me, I know you have a history here. Wasn't always quite as nice, huh?
No, this was a dirt field, and it was, when it rained, it'd get really muddy, and teams just hated playing out here.
Well, it's a beautiful evening. I love these early weeks in the high school football season. Don't have to worry about bringing a coat. A very slight breeze. Clear skies above. 3 receivers on the left side. He looks that way, under pressure, rolls out. Has a man off the fingertips, intended for number 11. That's Matt Philippi, the tight end, senior.
You know, that was a crossing route that Philippi run. He was lined up on the right, ran to the left across the field, a little drag route, and Lightgift just missed him.
So another 4th down, and 4th and long, of course. They haven't moved at all since converting last time.
Last time it was 4th and 5. This time it's 4th and 10.
So unlikely that they keep it on the ground, but you never know. Certainly too long for a field goal. 3 receivers set to the left. Now Lightgabs takes a few steps back.
Are we going to
look
look
like
at a quick
he may
kick?
be punting here. Yes, he is. So they're going to let it bounce around the 10-yard line. Finally stopped there, picked up at the 9.
You could see when Lightgift shifted back a step, you knew what was coming.
So,
had a couple of outside receivers who got down and downed the ball inside the 10.
So Lightgab, of course, the quarterback, but does handle some kicking duties, as you saw there. And you have opportunities with that skill set to perhaps run fake punts later down the line in this 2019 season. So now for the Canby Cougars, they're led by their quarterback, Andrew Peters, the senior. He's number 8 as he awaits the shotgun snap. He has it, hands it off, going up the middle for a few yards, spinning forward for a few more is number 16. He's the starting running back for the Cougars. That's Jackson Valdreau. He's a sophomore.
4 yards on the pickup, 2nd and 6.
Running to the left, can't find a hole. And we know, talking to the coaches before the game, Dave, there's several people that they're excited about on defense on this Lincoln Cardinal team.
And on the outside, playing on the defensive end that time was 26, Jack Franzen, and he just stood his ground there and stopped that run.
Franzen 6'0", 170, stopping Jackson Valdreau, who's gotten both carries. This time the quarterback throws it out wide, makes the grab, sideline run, knocked out of bounds there, shy of the 30, but a 1st down, and the Canby Cougars crowd is pumped up. The Cougars move the chains.
First pass attempt, first completion, 15 yards and a 1st down.
Canby's offense moving quickly here. 3 receivers set on the near side. They're looking that way, air it out, it's caught, but under pressure immediately and not letting go is number 5, Marko Vidakovic. Nice tackle by him. It looked like for a moment that the receiver may escape, but not that time.
A loss of 3 on the completion.
Chance Miller with the reception. Ambrose in on the tackle for the Lincoln defense. Big 3rd down here. 3rd and 5. Snap, looking left, has a man, it's caught. Runs into trouble. A trio of defensive tacklers. Fourth down. 4th and 3 to go from the 18-yard line, and this is a big moment where you find out, Dave, does the team have a kicker? Doesn't look like it. Well, maybe they have one. Just don't trust them from here, at least. Another handoff. They need 3 yards. Spinning forward. It's going to be close. I think they're short.
Great gang tackling that time by the Lincoln Cardinal, and I think you're right, Shane. I think he's short. And defense coming onto the field for Canby.
It was Caden McMullen with the carry. Needed 3 yards. I think he got about 2. And unable to convert in the red zone is the Canby Cougars, and we're seeing a nice defensive ball game here early on in the first quarter.
Exactly. Canby started at the 50 and couldn't turn that into any points.
So Lincoln Cardinals with another opportunity here in the first quarter. So I believe we may have our first timeout of the ball game.
Okay, timeout charged to the Lincoln Cardinal.
All right, let's tell you about some more of our sponsors. Trailblazer Foods, founded in 1984. Trailblazer Foods is one of the Western United States' largest producers of preserves, jellies, and other sweetener and fruit-based products. Trailblazer Foods wishes Lincoln Cardinal football great success for 2019. Call them today at 503-666-5800 or check them out online at www.trailblazerfoods.com. We have a couple new sponsors this season. The Daily Feast is a hub for quick and affordable eats, serving the Lincoln community since 2016. Breakfast, lunch, brunch, and after-school specials at 837 Southwest 11th Avenue. Go Cards. We also have Whacker Remodel. When you look to remodel or upgrade your home, you want to work with a trusted, certified remodeling professional. Homeowners in the Portland metro area have selected Whacker Remodel for over 30 years to provide them with efficient, high-quality craftsmanship for all phases of remodeling. Call Scott Whacker today at 503-539-9650 for a free consultation. Go Cardinal football. As we see, Lincoln get started on offense. A few yards on that play.
Lightgib on the keeper that time, picked up 4.
So first time we've seen Lightgib run the ball himself. We certainly saw moments last year when given the opportunity. He can turn the corner. Lightgib directing traffic, looking to his receivers. Awaits the ball, has it now, and we have a whistle. Likely a delay of game.
Yeah, time ran out then.
So we don't have the benefit of a play clock, but that'll back it up 5 yards. It's been a pretty clean game so far. I believe that's our first penalty, Dave.
Let's see, that is the first penalty of the game.
And the pace has been very quick.
There was confusion on that play. You could see Lightgib hitting the top of his helmet and looking out at one of the wide receivers.
So perhaps somebody wasn't in the right spot. As we see the receivers split, 2 on each side now. And Lightgib under center, hands it off to Wilmot, but unable to turn the corner. That was a pretty smooth transition from quarterback to running back. As you saw, Lightgib try to sell it, running the other way himself, but still a nice defensive stop on Wilmot as he walks off the field without a helmet. Looks like he's okay. Certainly hope so.
Here in the first quarter, that's 4 carries for Charles Wilmot for 15 yards. Of course, he got 14 on his first carry.
So they lost a few yards on that play. It'll be 3rd and long. Crowd getting into it here with just under a minute remaining here in the first quarter. Still no score. Lincoln trying to convert here on 3rd down. Lightgib drops back, looking to his right. Has a man there. It's caught just shy of the 30. It's going to be close to the first down marker. Looks like they needed to get to the 28.
They needed to get to the 27. It looks like they're at the 27. Let's see, this is close.
I think it's 28 they need.
28, you're right.
They're about a yard short, but fourth down, and now this is dangerous territory to, of course, go for it on fourth down, but Jeremy Johnson, he trusts his squad. They're going to go for it. They hand it off, powering up the middle, needs one. Does he get it?
Yes.
Looks like he did. Camby doesn't think so. They're pointing the other direction.
Well, they only need to get to the 28, and I think he got to the 29. Yep, they're moving the chains.
It was Kopets with the carry, so we can see in the roll where you just need a couple yards, you want to power through as time expires here in the first quarter. You're going to go to the young man Kopets, potentially for Jeremy Johnson and company. Stands in at 6'2", 215. Certainly a big young man. Gets the yardage needed there and a big conversion. If they don't get that, they're in trouble, and they're really putting their defense to the test.
Let's talk about this for a second. Game 1 of the season, in the first quarter, it's 4th down and 1 at your own 27-yard line, and you go for it. Boy, that takes some guts.
That is a significant risk, but it pays off this time as we wrap up the first quarter of Week 1 high school football action. The Canby Cougars playing host to the Lincoln Cardinals. Pretty fun game so far, despite the score.
Well, remember last year it was 40-7 at the end of the game.
Could we get there tonight? You never know.
Whoa, I haven't seen either team have an offense. Looks like they can put up 40 points.
Well, there's still time. Let's take a moment to tell you about our sponsors. Washman, wash it at Washman. Enjoy a sparkling clean car in only 3 minutes. Save time, save water, save rivers, and wash smart at Washman. It's better for your car and for the environment. Now at 12 convenient locations to serve you. Wash it at Washman.
I want to remind our listeners that the Cardinal will be on the road again next week at Southridge and will not be home until the 20th when they entertain the Franklin Quakers.
All right, Lincoln swapping sides of the field after that big 4th down conversion. This one's complete to Wilmot. Tries to get outside the numbers. He does across the 35. About a 7-yard gain from Lightgeb to Wilmot. Catch and run, and Wilmot staying busy here in early action. Dave, you mentioned Week 3, the first home game of the Lincoln Cardinals. Have you heard that this will actually be the last time the Lincoln Cardinals are playing at home, at least for a while? Or this season, I should say. 3
of the first 4 games are on the road because a week after that they'll be at Summit. But then they end the season with 2 home games against Madison and Grant.
Here's a handoff, but they're going to lose yardage. A 5-yard loss just about. That handoff goes to number 8, Brady Kopets. So if you haven't heard, Lincoln's home field next year is actually up in the air. They're going to be doing a lot of construction where the current football field is located at Lincoln High School. They're going to actually build a whole new structure that will, of course, be used for classes. And so for at least 3 seasons, I believe I heard, they're going to be playing elsewhere starting in 2020. So still a ways away from that. Lightgeb drops back, looks to his right, has a man. It's caught across the first down marker up to the 40-yard line, and that one is Marko Vidakovic, the senior. We knew to look out for him. Nice catch.
After being 2 for 7, Lightgeb is now 5 for 10, so he's hit on his last 3.
So you were just saying, you were challenging the offenses, if you will. We haven't seen much, but a couple good passes from Lightgeb in this possession. Man in motion. They hand it off, and once again it's snipped out. That time by number 44 of the Camby defense. That's Wyatt Ramos.
You know, we cover a lot of Central Catholic athletics, and they have the same problem with the football field, and they play a lot of games at Hillsborough Stadium.
Well, that's a nice place to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're going to pick somewhere, maybe Lincoln will play some games there. Who knows? All right, so they lose 5 yards on the previous play. And you get the sense Camby's starting to be a little more prepared for that kind of action. Now 3 receivers, 1 man in the backfield. Lightgeb drops back, looking to his left. Has a man over the middle of the field. It's caught there. Vidakovic, he gets away. 30, 20, 10. He's got a man on his tail. He's not going to get him. Touchdown. Lincoln Cardinals. They are on the board and lead it 6-0.
65 yards on the completion. Lightgeb to Vidakovic, hit him in the middle of the field. He caught the ball and turned and looked upfield, and there was nobody there, and just took off, turned on the Jets. 65-yard touchdown.
Yeah, didn't quite get the number there at the end of the defensive back. He had a chance at the end, unable to take him down. Vidakovic turns in a huge play, easily the biggest of the offense so far. And now we're seeing some shifting there, lining up for the extra point.
That touchdown came in 9:46 left to go in the half.
Kick is low, but it looks like it got over. It does, and it's 7-0 in favor of the Lincoln Cardinals. Just underway here in the second quarter. What a way to start. They heard your challenge, Dave.
Was that Spencer Davies on the kick?
It was number 3, Spencer Davies, in fact.
All right.
Let's tell you once again about our friends at Trailblazer Foods, founded in 1984. They are one of the Western United States' largest producers of preserves, jellies, and other sweetener and fruit-based products. Trailblazer Foods wishes Lincoln Cardinal football great success for 2019. Call them today at 503-666-5800 or check them out at www.trailblazerfoods.com.
When I said Lightgeb was 2 of 7, I was kind of worried there for a minute. Well, he's hit his last 4. He's now 6 for 11 for exactly 100 yards.
It's a good place to be with still 9:46 remaining on the clock. Did you watch the NFL game last night, Dave?
I was bored to death.
So based on the way you started that answer, I thought you were going to say no, and I was going to tell you you didn't miss much, but it turns out you did watch.
Oh, boy, that was 2 teams. Green Bay won that. Aaron Rodgers did not take 1 snap in preseason. Not 1.
Well, if there wasn't so much money involved, I'm sure they'd have less preseason games because clearly some players don't need them. Here's the kick as it'll be caught across the 10-yard line, now across the 20, cuts back, but a tackle there, I believe, by number 22 of the Lincoln Cardinals.
We don't have a 22.
I must be mistaken. Maybe 32. 32, Gus Downey.
Okay.
So now if you are the Cougars, led by their quarterback Andrew Peters, how do you respond now trailing for the first time as they will get things started going left to right from the 27-yard line?
By the way, Peters is 4 of 5 for 19 yards.
Well, the 4 of 5 number sounds good, but it looks like there was a penalty on that play. They're going to back it up. I didn't see the flag. It is a little difficult to hear the PA announcer from our location.
Well, it was a 15-yarder. Had to be some kind of personal foul.
That would make sense. So a little bit tougher starting position for the Cougars. Quarterback drops back, looks to his left, airs it out deep, but overthrown by about 5 yards. Intended there for number 33, that's Caden Boyd.
Great coverage that time on the outside, man-to-man coverage by the safety. Number 5, and that's of Vidakovic.
You mentioned Vidakovic scoring on offense. If that one is caught, it's nothing but green grass in front of the offense.
That wouldn't be a 65-yarder. That was a 95-yarder if he caught that.
So now second down. Quarterback awaits the snap. A little bit high, hands it off, going up the middle, finds a hole, and dragged down and spun around.
I think that was Jackson Lindman on the carry.
Jackson Valdro.
Oh, Valdro, okay. 8 yards on the pickup that time for Valdro.
3rd and 2, big opportunity here. They're going to run it again. Looks like they're going to get enough. Oh, the ball is loose. Lincoln falls on top of it. They're going to say he's down based on the whistle that we're hearing.
You know, the last 2 plays were the same play. They were also the same snap. The quarterback had to reach way up to get that ball, got it to Valdro, and he got, let's see, 8 and 6, got 14 yards on those 2 plays.
So fortunate for the Cougars that one wasn't ruled a fumble.
Another high snap.
And the ball, that was an odd play there. I don't think that was intended for number 33, but he reached his arm out and tried to make the one-handed grab. You had on the sideline, I believe it was intended for Jackson Lindman.
I think you're exactly right. And the 33 stuck his hand up thinking, I can get this, and then didn't.
That reminds me of the Manny Ramirez play.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Anybody who watches baseball knows exactly what I'm talking about. All right, this is wide open over the middle, intended for Lindman, but cannot make the grab. So a couple miscues by the Cougar offense past 2 plays.
Lindman forgot one of the rules of football on a pass play. Number 1, catch the ball. Number 2, start running. He started running before he caught the ball.
Very important. You see that often at all levels of football, though.
Exactly.
You see the player turn their head, look upfield, especially if there's no defenders around him. Perhaps get a little excited to what you can do once you catch that ball. But the most important part of that equation, of course, catch the ball. So now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 15.
From the 20-yard line, 15 yards to go. Quarterback Andrew Peters has it. Rolling right. Has a man. Once again, off the hands of number 33, Caden Boyd. And you can hear just murmurs in the crowd. They know they've missed some opportunities here on this possession.
On this possession, there have been 3 pass plays that they could have completed the pass and got nothing out of any of them.
And I'm not sure the quarterback, Andrew Peters, is at fault for any of them.
He's now 4 for 9.
So 3rd down, 3rd and long. Quarterback looking to his right, into double coverage, overthrown.
You know, that ball was tipped. There was great coverage on the outside by number 9, Mario Ambrose. He might have intercepted that ball had it not been tipped right in front of him.
Yeah, you can see Ambrose after the play kind of clapping his hands, perhaps a little disappointed. So now 4th and 15, expect a punt here. Although, I mean, we've seen Lincoln go for it in this situation, but certainly with much less yards to go. So I believe it's Caden Boyd into punt. Wilmot back to receive at midfield. Here's the kick. Takes a bounce. Wilmot's going to pick it up. Gets across midfield. Cuts inside. 40. Knocked out of bounds.
You know, if you're a receiver, that's the exact kind of punt you want to see. A low driving kick that you're able to field and get a running start at it.
So about 12 yards on the return for Wilmot. And now Lincoln has an excellent opportunity to add to their lead starting in Canby territory. Let's tell you about our friends at the Daily Feast. The Daily Feast is a hub for quick and affordable eats, serving the Lincoln community since 2016. Breakfast, lunch, brunch, and after-school specials at 837 Southwest 11th Avenue. Go Cards. Getting a little bit cooler here in Camby. The lights are on. And a timeout called by the Lincoln Cardinals gives us a little bit more opportunity to tell you about our sponsors. When you look to remodel or upgrade your home, you want to work with a trusted, certified remodeling professional. Homeowners in the Portland metro area have selected Wacker Remodel for over 30 years to provide them with efficient, high-quality craftsmanship for all phases of remodeling. Call Scott Wacker today at 503-539-9650 for a free consultation. Go Cardinal football.
We also have the Booster Club 50-50 raffle taking around as well.
So Dave, 7-0 in favor of the Lincoln Cardinals. Big opportunity here, excellent field position to start out with 8:14 remaining on the clock. And we saw some good things from Jake Lightgeb and his receiving core on the previous possession, of course, culminating in that big play to Vidakovic.
You know, and they needed to hit a pass, and they hit a big one. I think from here on out, I think they know they can connect.
Lightgeb will be under center. Two receivers on the far side. They're going to hand it off, find a hole up the middle. Taken down shy of the 35. Looks like the 36-yard line for about 4 yards on the carry. Jack Franzen with the carry. And we're starting to see, and a lot can change. We're not even a half of football into the season, but we're starting to see what roles these young men will occupy, at least the game plan for this ball game. Franzen, the power back, yards up the middle. Wilmot getting to the outside. A lot of motion there from Wilmot. Quarterback drops back. Has a man outside. That's a first down. Now tries to run towards the middle. No. Anywhere to go for Vidakovic. But nonetheless, it's a first down. They'll move the chains. Number 13 on the defense, that's Logan Doman.
Object in this game is to run north to south, not east to west. But Vidakovic with 5 yards on the reception that time. First down.
Three receivers set to the left now. Lightgeb back in the shotgun.
5 in a row for Lightgeb.
Rolling left. Has a man. It's caught there. Across the 20. Wilmot. I'm sorry, that's 26.
Franzen.
Jack Franzen. Wilmot number 25, Franzen number 26.
8 for 13 for Lightgeb for 113 yards.
Up to the 21-yard line. Second down, 2nd and 2. Crowd getting into it with the chance of defense. Of course, we are at the home of the Canby Cougars. Lincoln looking to add on to their lead. They hand it off to Wilmot, looking for a hole. Finally turns the corner, has some room outside the numbers, spun around and out of bounds. It's a first down up near the 10-yard line.
They lined up at Vidakovic and Wilmot on the same side that time. And to get the ball on the handoff, Wilmot came all the way from the left to the quarterback and then swept around the right and got around the corner.
1st and 10 for the Lincoln offense. Couldn't quite make it 1st and goal. They're at the 11-yard line. You know, we're in the stands here in the confines of Canby High School, but it's actually a wonderful setup, all things considered. With that said, we do have some pillars perhaps blocking our vantage point at certain points of the field, this being one of them. They air it out, corner, end zone, touchdown.
Light gives Vodakovic on the fade pattern.
11-yard touchdown. Vodakovic has 2 touchdowns to start the day with 6:29 on the clock here in the second quarter. Lincoln adds on to their lead.
You know, there's a way to throw a fade pattern, and that was it right there.
Very well executed play by the Lincoln offense. And they're going to fake the kick. They throw it out wide left, and nothing doing there. It's number 11, Matt Philippi. Threw it out to him, but he was unable to handle the initial pass, and nothing he could do from there. Tried to pick it up, but had some defenders on him. So it'll be 13-0 with 6:29 on the clock.
You know, after being unable to score the whole first quarter, the Cardinal now have 2 touchdowns in 3 minutes.
They heard your challenge, Dave.
All right, now they can get to 40.
Now the pressure's on. You just got to do that every game if they're struggling offensively.
All right.
Washman, wash it at Washman. Enjoy a sparkling clean car in only 3 minutes. Save time, save water, save rivers, and wash smart at Washman. It's better for your car and for the environment. Now at 12 convenient locations to serve you. Wash it at Washman. 6:29 on the clock.
7 straight completions for Jake Lightgib.
An excellent start to this ball game for the starting quarterback of the Lincoln Cardinals. We mentioned he split time the majority of last season, now grabbing onto the reins, and an excellent start. And if you think back, Jeremy Johnson, obviously, excellent head coach, has shaped the identity of this Cardinal team. But you think back a few years, we wouldn't have seen that much offense, particularly in the air.
Right.
So definitely a different vibe here.
14 passes would have been 3 games.
All right. Here's the run back.
A fumble.
And the fumble, it looks like, did Lincoln come up with it? They may have. It looks like they did. Coming up with the ball is number 9, Tyler Mead.
No, Marco Ambrose.
Oh, my apologies.
Number 9 for
It
Lincoln.
was number 16, Jackson Valdro, on the return, and lost it at the end of the play. And now all of a sudden, you don't want to get too dejected if you are a Canby Cougar, and the defense hasn't had a whole lot of time to rest.
If I'm Coach Johnson and I'm thinking about this, I might go for all this right here.
Lightgib has had a ton of success past 2 possessions in the air. 2 men flanking him, but he drops back, looks to his left, has a man, it's caught, stays on his feet, tiptoeing along the sideline, little dip and dodge, finally knocked out of bounds is Wilmot around the 25-yard line.
12 yards on the pass completion.
And maybe it only turned into a few extra yards, but you love to see the extra effort there by the receiver, Wilmot.
10 of 15 for 136 yards. Those are pretty impressive numbers. When I was looking at him, 2 for 7.
So they move the chains up to the 26-yard line. Lightgib under center. Wilmot in motion. Hand it off to him. Can he find a hole around the corner? He does. Gets a few yards there with an extra effort.
Number 25, Charles Wilmot on the carry. He was brought down by number 51, Cole Schaefer.
51, Cole Schaefer.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
5-yard pickup for Wilmot that time. He lined up as a flanker on the left. He came back to the ball and the quarterback and then swept to the right. They've run that play now a couple of times, and each time Wilmot's been able to turn the corner.
Schaefer with the tackle. He was starting on the offensive line, playing both sides of the ball for the Canby Cougars. Once again, Lightgap under center. And we see some movement, I believe number 11 of the offense.
Matt Philippi jumped the snap count.
So that'll back it up to the original line of scrimmage. Second down, 10 to go. 5:23 remaining here in the first half. Lincoln with a 13-0 lead, looking to add on here in week 1 high school football action. Handoff for a short yardage gain. That time to number 8, Brady Kopetz. Cole Schaefer once again in on the tackle, staying busy there on the defensive end.
You know, what I like about that play is what I call the jump cut. When the ball carrier comes up to the line of scrimmage and sees a hole and jumps towards the hole.
'24-yard line. This crowd was rowdy early on. After those 2 Lincoln scores, they've quieted down quite a bit. Here they go with the defense chant, trying to wake up a bit. Lightgap drops back over the middle, may have been tipped there, incomplete.
First incompletion in 9 throws.
I believe Philippi the intended target.
Well, this is another 4th down.
They have shown that they are not shy about going for it on 4th down. This time it's 4th and 8, but
and that is Spencer Davies in the game.
Yeah, it looks like they're lining up for what would be a 40-yard field goal. 41.
Oh, there we go. We're at the 30. You're right.
Okay, now we have a whistle. We have a timeout. I believe the final timeout for the Lincoln Cardinals here in the first half. Cougars haven't taken any.
I was just going to mention that where the score is and everything, they've not used one of their timeouts.
So really interesting game so far. First quarter, a defensive battle. Both teams making big stops. Both teams converting on 4th down at different points of this ball game. But ultimately, the Lincoln defense has managed to keep Camby out of the end zone. The offense, even when they haven't converted, have put Camby in tough spots, tough starting field position. So Lincoln controlling this ball game up 13-0, and then just moments ago, a returned kick after the second score for the Lincoln Cardinals turns into a fumble. Lincoln recovers and now threatening for more, but it's 4th down. They've got 8 yards to go.
I'm still just puzzled how the team in the lead has used all their timeouts and the team behind hasn't used any.
That is a little unusual. Lightgap in the shotgun, man in motion, and we have a whistle. This is a timeout by Camby.
Spoke too soon.
There it is. So a little bit of a counterplay here. Lincoln calls the timeout. You can see, if you're head coach Jimmy Joyce, that's their final timeout of the half. Then you come out, you see their offensive scheme, you see how the play is set up. You have plenty of timeouts, as we just mentioned. Why not use one here? You know this is a very important play. If they convert here and manage to maintain possession, of course, they could score. Then you're looking at a 3-score ball game. You're really in trouble. If you can make a stop here, perhaps turn things around. You have 4.5 minutes on the clock, plenty of time to go down, march down the field yourself. Really important play here. I like the call by Jimmy Joyce call the timeout.
I
See
do
what they can
too.
do.
I think he was thinking, Lincoln will never think I'm going to call a timeout. They're going to put their best play out there. I'm going to take a timeout. We've seen their lineup. Now they've got to change their play, and probably not the same play that they had in mind. We'll see. We'll see if it works in their favor.
Well, Leica was lined up in shotgun. We have 2 receivers set to the left, 1 on the right side. That man's in motion now. Looks like the same play.
It does.
Lekeb rolling left. Good defense. He's going to turn the corner. Is he going to keep it himself? He does. He skips along the sideline. And they're signaling first down. At least the Lincoln offense is.
He needed 8.
It's close. And Lekeb doesn't look like he's going anywhere. From our vantage point, it was really tough to tell.
It is a
they
first
are
down.
going to move the chains. So what a gutsy play. And you have to wonder if he was intended to run there or just decided once he saw the coverage to take it himself. But he gets the job done either way.
Looked to me like a design play, like that was a quarterback roll to the left.
Yeah, you saw him drop the arm back.
Exactly.
But it didn't take him long, so I think you're right, Dave, to turn the corner and go upfield. And I mentioned earlier in the game, Lekeb can get it done with his legs to take it himself. He does it just there. Wilmot back in motion. They're going to hand it off to the third option. Finds a hole up the middle, and it's another Lincoln touchdown. That time to number 8, Brady Kopetz gets the first rushing touchdown of the season for the Lincoln Cardinals. So they keep it on the ground 2 plays in a row. And just a few seconds off the clock, we were talking about how Camby, if they could make a stop, they would have an opportunity to get back in the game. Well, that didn't happen. It's a 19-0 ball game with Lincoln looking to add on here. Spencer Davies into kick. We saw them attempt a 2-point conversion last time. They're going to go for it. They air it out into the corner. It looks like it's caught there, but did he get it in bounds? Waiting for a signal, excuse me. Nope. Incomplete. Tough to tell in that back corner, but Lincoln taking some chances.
It was a fade pattern to Vodakovich and just over his outstretched hands.
Yeah, we've seen that be successful. Couldn't grab it this time, but nonetheless a 19-0 lead in favor of the Lincoln Cardinals.
I spoke too soon about those 40 points.
Let's tell you about the Daily Feast. The Daily Feast is a hub for quick and affordable eats, serving the Lincoln community since 2016. Breakfast, lunch, brunch, and after-school specials at 837 Southwest 11th Avenue. Go Cards.
Well, we started the game, it was 82 degrees. It's 71 right now.
It is beautiful weather here out this evening. Back to receive for Camby, Ronan Gay and Jaden Brewer. Lincoln kicking off from the 40-yard line, kicking right to left. And it'll be number 3, their kicker, Spencer Davies. Strong kick. Receiver backs up, takes it inside the 10, finds a hole up the middle, cuts outside the numbers. And we have a flag at the end of the play. Nice run back there by Ronan Gay.
I'm waiting to see what the call is here.
See what the flag is. May have been a personal foul at the end. I saw him whip around, but a crowded.
What I was watching for to see if the signal was for horse collar tackle.
Referees conferring.
They did signal a personal foul. They're going to mark that out 15 more yards into Lincoln territory.
So If you're a Canby Cougar fan, of course you might be disappointed by the current score of 19-0, but that's a big penalty there. 15 yards, moving them into Lincoln territory. See what their offense can do. A delayed handoff, and you see some speed by the running back, number 44, Wyatt Ramos. He gets a first down all the way up to the 30-yard line. Wyatt Ramos, big kid, but shows off his wheels.
11-yard pickup, 1st and 10.
Quarterback in the shotgun, takes it down low, airs it out, overthrown, and the ball is loose, but it's incomplete.
You know, I don't know what your thoughts on this, but to me, I thought that was a backward pass. I thought that was a lateral.
I suppose it was close. That wasn't my initial instinct, but I see where you're coming from.
If it had been, though, that the ball was on the ground, then that would have been a fumble recovery. So,
yeah. Doesn't look like anybody's too concerned about it out there. I'm sure if Lincoln thought so, they'd be arguing their case. All right, here's the snap, and hit by his own player from behind, incomplete. That was an oddity. Number 44 out of the backfield. That's Wyatt Ramos. We were just talking about him about a moment ago, but runs into the quarterback. I don't know if he intended to release the ball at that moment in time, but the ball does come loose. It's incomplete. Quarterback drops, rolling to his right. It's incomplete again. Good coverage by the defense. Number 9 of the Lincoln Cardinals, Mario Ambrose.
Brutal tackle that time.
But perfect timing. As soon as the ball touches the fingertips, it's a free game there. So 4th and 10, and the offense on the field for the Canby Cougars. We've seen some moments of brightness, but a few miscues have been costly. Quarterback empty backfield, drops back, looking to his left, deep, has a man in the end zone. Did he make the grab?
Yes.
He did. Ronan Gay. That woke the crowd up, huh, Dave?
That, you can hear them yelling.
Ronan Gay with the reception in the end zone. Gets Camby on the board. Chance Miller into kick. The quarterback, Andrew Peters, set to hold. Here's the kick. Plenty of distance through the uprights. 19-7 now, with 3:26 remaining here in the first half.
I wasn't quite sure if Gay caught that ball that time, but he reached out. He kind of ran a pattern towards the back of the end zone and then curled in at the end.
Excellent grab by that young man to get the Cougars on the board. And we saw in the national anthem, that was just before we went off on the air. They have fireworks here and score a touchdown.
Oh.
I heard it. We can't really see it from our vantage point, but they're out there. They set off a couple fireworks during the national anthem, and I just heard one after that score. So that's certainly unique. Don't always see that at the high school level. All right, darkness is upon us, but the lights providing our eyes.
Onside kick this?
Risky, but you never know. 3:26 on the clock remaining here in the first half. Number 24, Chance Miller into kick. We saw he has plenty of leg with that extra point. 2 men back to receive. It's a deep kick. What did I say? They're going to let it bounce through the end zone.
No points in the first quarter, 26 here in the second quarter.
Now if you're the Lincoln Cardinals, 3:26, of course, plenty of time. You want to respond. You know the crowd is fired up. Lincoln starting at their own 20-yard line, led by their senior quarterback, Jake Lightgeb, who's already had an excellent first half. Let's see if he can add on here. Cardinals will start with a 3-receiver set to the far side right. They air it out there, complete to Wilmot. Dodges a tackler, but unable to get to the line of scrimmage. They lose a yard on the play. Ronan Gay, who just made that touchdown catch, in on the tackle defensively for the Canby Cougars. The official team colors of the Cougars, navy and Vegas gold. Every time I see this is not the first time. Every time I see Vegas gold, I always want to look up what the difference is between regular gold and Vegas gold. Handoff trying to go up the middle.
Well,
It looks like they may have gotten to the original line of scrimmage. No, about a half a yard shy.
what is the difference?
I don't know.
Well, I think if it's Vegas gold, you've lost it.
Usually the power of the internet would help me in this situation.
Right.
Don't have my phone on me at the moment. All right, third down. 3rd and 10. They did get it back up to the original line of scrimmage. Going right to left. 2 men in the backfield. 2-receiver set on the near side. And some movement. Let's see who they call it on.
I think the left tackle of
That's number
Lincoln
70.
stood up.
Tyler Smith. All right, so our esteemed colleague has brought up some images of Vegas gold, but I don't know if that answers my question. It's just different shades of gold, I suppose.
Okay. 3rd and 15.
All right, big play for Lincoln, looking to stay on the field. Lightgeb drops back over the middle, has the man, it's caught there, has some room to run, and it's a first down. Big play. Lightgeb took about 6 or 7 steps back there. But Charles Wilmot, another big catch and run to convert a first down.
20 yards on the completion. Lightgeb to Wilmot. They needed 15 for a first down. They got 20.
You know, Vegas has, of course, the Las Vegas Golden Knights of the National Hockey League. I wonder if their gold in their logo is Vegas gold. That would make sense.
Did you know they play in the T-Mobile Arena?
I did know that. I was just in Vegas recently.
that's right.
I was just in Vegas, but I've never been inside that arena. I'd like to one day. Here's a handoff to Wilmot. Few yards to his right. No, he breaks free at the end, gets near the first down marker, but they're going to mark him down well shy of that.
You know what other team plays in Vegas?
Pretty soon it'll be the Raiders.
The Las Vegas Aces.
That's right. They have a new stadium out there.
A brand new stadium.
They keep talking about Major League Baseball expanding, and the two cities that get named most frequently, at least on the West Coast, are here in Portland and Las Vegas. Lightgeb drops back, looking to his left, has a man wide open, caught, and knocked out of bounds. Marko Vidakovic.
Well, the Major League Baseball has a list of cities, and the top 2 on that list are Portland and Nashville.
Did you hear that the Rays were exploring the option of playing half of their home games in Tampa Bay, which is their current home, and half of their home games in Montreal?
They're not exploring it. They're going to do it next year.
We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. That would be really something.
There was an NBA team, the Kansas City Omaha Kings, that played half their games in one city and half in the other back in the 70s.
All right, Lightgeb has a man to the right, caught there by Wilmot.
Back to the line of scrimmage is all.
Looks like they're going to give him a couple yards as he caught it and then fell back. So just shy of midfield up to the 49-yard line. Now we're running out of time, under 30 seconds. Remember, the Lincoln Cardinals do not have any timeouts to work with. So are they going to air one out here? What do we do?
Trip receivers left.
Lightgeb drops back. He's looking to his left. He does air it down. Has a man, Vidakovic, but drops it.
Oh, my. That would have been 47 yards on a completion.
Now, if he's tackled there after making the grab, the half is over. But he was in stride, may have been able to turn that into something special.
He limped just a tad when he got up, but he looks okay now.
Yeah, it looks like he's shaking it off. Let's see if he stays on the field for this final play. He is their deep threat, but it looks like he is going to the sideline. So what do they do here? Do they play it safe, take a knee, or do they air it out one more time?
By the way, Lightgeb is 14 out of 20.
Okay, they do have a couple receivers set up. See what they decide to do. Lightgeb under center. Signals for Wilmot in motion. They're going to hand it off, and he's not going anywhere. That's going to do it for the first half here from Canby High School, home of the Canby Cougars, where the Lincoln Cardinals lead it. Heading into halftime, 19-7 over the Cougars. It was a tale of two quarters. In the first quarter, a defensive battle led to no scoring. But the second quarter, things turned around. 26 points on the board, 4 touchdowns in total. And Lincoln with that 19-7 lead. Just a moment, Dave Hall will have stats from the first half for you, but let's take a moment to tell you about some more of our sponsors. When you look to remodel or upgrade your home, you want to work with a trusted, certified remodeling professional. Homeowners in the Portland metro area have selected Wacker Remodel for over 30 years to provide them with efficient, high-quality craftsmanship for all phases of remodeling. Call Scott Wacker today at 503-539-9650 for a free consultation. Go Cardinal football.
Okay, I got the totals if you're ready for them.
Go for it.
All right, here's the totals from the first half. We'll start with the Canby Cougars. 13 pass attempts, 6 completions for 48 yards and 1 touchdown. On the ground, 36 yards rushing for the Cougars. It is 84 yards total offense for the Cougars in the first half. For the Lincoln Cardinal, Jacob is 14 of 20 passing for 165 yards. On the ground, the Cardinal are 18 rushes, 57 yards. So 222 yards total offense for the Cardinals, 84 for the Canby Cougars.
Now, as we were recapping the first quarter, Dave Hall put a challenge out there and said, I haven't seen either offense really put things together. We saw some miscues in both quarters from the Canby Cougars, but we know there's talent out there, and they are certainly capable of coming back in this ball game. They did score towards the end of that first half to make this a reasonable 19-7 score. And if you're Lincoln, there was 2 times they went for a 2-point conversion, failed to convert on both of those times, and you have to wonder, you hope, if you're a Lincoln Cardinal football fan, that doesn't come back to haunt them, because Canby score, they have a chance.
You know, the the last play, the long throw to Vidakovic, that should have been a touchdown. They would have had 25 points here at halftime. So I'm still optimistic now that the Cardinal can get 40 points in this game. Last year's game was 40-7. I think that's within the realm of expectations here today.
All right. Dave putting a challenge on the defense now. They need a shutout in the second half to at least have an opportunity to match the score of last year.
Well, you just look at those total yardages. 222 to 84.
Yep, certainly a big difference there for a second-year head coach Jeremy Johnson looking to get a win here in week 1 of the regular season for the Lincoln Cardinals. Now we will have Lincoln Cardinal football all season long here on Oregon Sports Beat.
For you people who are interested in the polls, the preseason polls, who are the top 10 teams in Oregon high school 6A? Here they are. Number 1, Jesuit. Number 2, Central Catholic. Number 3, last year's champion Lake Oswego. Number 4, Clackamas. Number 5, Sheldon. Then the 2 schools, Tigard and Tualatin, who really bang it up with each other. 8 is West Lynn. 9, South Medford. And 10 is Sunset. 11 is West Salem. 12 is Barlow. 13 is Oregon City. Top PIL team is 24, Grant.
Where do these 2 teams land in those polls?
Lincoln, number 28. Canby, number 42.
So they're in that conversation. Lincoln looking for a victory here. Perhaps will move up in those rankings. As you see the cheerleaders here at midfield at the home of the Cougars, Canby High School.
When I mentioned to Coach Johnson, I said, I looked in Max Preps and you were 28. And he said, sounds about right. We need to beat some people and then we'll move up.
Exactly. Well, they're off to a good start here.
You know, they're looking. The third game of the season is a away game at Summit. Then they've got a stretch there in the last half of the season. They get Roosevelt, Jefferson, and Grant. Those 3 in their last 4 games.
So, of course, last year, Lincoln struggling in non-league games, but took care of business as far as league play was concerned. They, of course, would love to win the PIL again, as they've done, I believe, 4 years in a row. But I'm sure they would look to improve on their overall record. Now, if you count the playoffs, losing in the first round of the playoffs did the Lincoln Cardinals. They were actually under 500 in the 11 games played last season, despite their 4-1 record in league play.
The Cardinal are PIL champions 2010, 2013, and then a run of 4 straight seasons, 15, 16, 17, and 18.
Looking for one more, I'm sure, here in 2019. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to step aside for just a few minutes, but don't go anywhere as second half action is fast approaching here between the Lincoln Cardinals and the Canby Cougars.
Come on out, take the field. Here is your flag football team. Let them know your support, the future Cougar football team. Your Canby Cougars, number 4 rookie tackle, coached by Andrew Woolsey. Come on out and take the field, boys. Announcer for our Canby Cougar 5-6 team, coached by Dan Kinney. Come on out, take the field, Cougars. Your Canby Cougars JV team, coached by Josh Lee. And your Canby Cougars varsity team, coached by Doug Hull. This is the future of Canby Cougar football. All right, Cougars, spread out down the yard line and let's show everybody some Cougar backs.
This is Caitlin Mullen, captain of the Canby football team. I'm proud to represent the community of Canby on the field today as a student athlete. In Canby, we do not tolerate hatred, racism, and bigotry. We celebrate the diversity of our team and community. We love the flow of competition, win with class, and raise the Canby. In Canby, we respect our officials, coaches, and fans. Please join us in sharing positively for the community and comments that we represent.
This week is right on time, right on top. You say you say and you say
Upon conclusion of the game, please make sure that we keep the field clear to allow players and coaches to meet and gather their belongings. And now it is time to announce our 50-50 winning number. Everybody pull out your raffle tickets. Tonight's pot is worth $276. The winning number is 511147. Again, the winning number is 511147. You can claim your prize at the north end of the end zone by the concession stand. Again, the north end of the end zone by the concession stand. The winning number is 511147. There are a couple of burgers that can be located at the north end of the end zone by the concession stand. This is the last call for those who want a hamburger. And here come your Canby Cougars!
We are back just a few minutes away from second half action here at the home of the Cougars, Canby High School, where Canby currently trailing to the Lincoln Cardinals. It's 19-7 in favor of Lincoln here in week 1 of high school football action. Hi everybody, I'm Shane Downey, joined by my broadcast colleague Dave Hall.
You know, Shane, if you came into the stadium now and you didn't see the scoreboard, and you might wonder what the score is, you'd think Canby was way ahead by the reaction of the fans. They are still just absolutely behind their team.
Well, that, and they're also trying to figure out who won this 50-50 drawing for, I believe, a couple grand out there up for grabs. But you're absolutely right. I know you had mentioned not a lot of success with the Cougar program as of late, but nonetheless, an excellent crowd, and you love to see that. An excellent environment for both of these teams to play in front of.
You know, when I did games back here in the late 80s and 1990, they were, of course, in a big conference, Oregon City and all of those schools, and they wanted to find a way to be competitive. And so they hired a coach, Mike Doty, who ran a double wing offense, much the same that Wes Warren ran here at Lincoln. And they confused teams so much that over a stretch of about 10 years, Canby was consistently in the top 10 in the state.
Very impressive. So
they've had legendary coaches here. Before Mike Doty, it was Irv Garrison who won a couple of state championships.
Right now it's Jimmy Joyce trying to make a triumphant comeback here in the second half.
Oregon has a famous James Joyce. You know who that is?
Doesn't ring a bell.
American League umpire.
Okay. Jim Joyce.
Jim Joyce, and he's the one, remember in that no-hit game that called the runner safe at first base in the last out of the game?
Detroit, right?
Yes, it was Detroit.
I'm trying to, it's funny, I'm trying to remember the pitcher's name, and he's escaping me.
I want to say Ramirez or something like that, or...
For some reason, I'm thinking of the name Sanzatella, but I don't think that's right.
No.
I know that name's in my head. He was a Tigers pitcher. I can picture him.
I can too.
I have his face.
Right.
And he's most known for that moment.
Right.
He didn't have
he had
a prestigious career.
Right. He didn't have any grudges or anything.
No,
it was a bang play at first.
He was literally as nice as could be. I remember the umpire being very upset about it.
Right.
I honestly think he cried in like a post-game press conference.
He did.
The internet, we need it. That's the last time I leave my phone in the car. All right, back to high school football. Spencer Davies is going to kick off, kicking right to left. Starting with possession will be the Canby Cougars as the band prepares for the kick. 2 men back to receive. Kick is a good one, taking a few steps back now, taking it up to the 20, across the 30, finds a hole up the middle, 50, taken down across midfield at the 42-yard line. That was number 25, Jaden Brewer, on the return.
Brewer had been playing in the first half a wide receiver. Boy, he took off on that one.
It was about 45 yards on the return, and you can hear the Cougar fans. They don't need much to get excited. And now the Cougars with an opportunity on offense. Number 8, Andrew Peters. The starting quarterback has been out there for every play. In the shotgun, has the snap, hands it off. Finding a hole up the middle. Up to the 30-yard line is number 44,
Ramos.
Wyatt Ramos, the senior. Charles Wilmot, you've been hearing his name all night long. He was in on the tackle.
Ramos, 2 carries for 25 yards. I expect we can see more of him here in the second half.
We've seen really good bursts of speed from Ramos. And they go right back to him. A little bit of trouble with the handoff, but he stays on his feet, turns it into a few yards. Looks like 3 yards on the carry as he spins around to the outside.
He's a bruising runner.
He was brought down by number 8, Brady Kopetz. That brings up 2nd and 7.
Kopetz in on the tackle for the Lincoln defense. 2nd and 7 just underway here in the third quarter. Cougars looking to trim the Lincoln advantage. Another handoff, 3 straight plays on the ground, shy of the first down marker by about 2 yards. So Ramos, 3 straight carries.
Brings up a 3rd and short 2.
3rd and 2, Ramos, will flank to the right. Hand it off, that's gonna be enough. So Camby struggled offensively in the first half. Perhaps the key was handing it off to Ramos, but as I say that, he jogs off the field. Checking into the game at the tailback position will be Caden McMullen. So Andrew Peters awaits the snap, drops back, looks to his right now over the middle, has a man off the fingertips intended for number 20 of the offense. That's Kyle Sander. 2nd and 10, clock stops, 10:05. Here's the snap, they look out left, dangerous pass, it's caught, but nowhere to go.
Here's pass is completed, number 20, Kyle Sander. He was brought down by number 11.
Sander shaken up on that play. As we hear a whistle.
Referee timeout on the field.
Yeah, it looks like they had a brief stoppage just to make sure all the young men out there are okay. But now Camby ready to go. Quarterback awaits. Looking to his right. Airs it out deep. Has a man single coverage, and it's caught. It was number 9 on number 9. Number 9, Tyler Mead with the grab for the Canby Cougars. Suddenly, it's a 6-point game, and Canby has an opportunity to add on. And Andrew Peters running out there late. He's the holder. Some confusion here on special teams, but looks like they're going to get set in time. Go for the extra point. And it is up and through. So it is a 5-point game all of a sudden here as the Canby Cougars score on their first possession to start things out here in the third quarter. And there's the firework.
3.5 minutes on that drive. The touchdown coming at 9:31 left to go in the third. Point after touchdown good. 19-14 right now.
So the crowd, they didn't need much. They're into it. One thing I like about these Canby uniforms that's certainly unique is, and it certainly doesn't hurt from our position as broadcasters, it can be a little tough to pick up. Certainly different than just picking up the numbers on their backs, but there are numbers on each helmet, on the side of each helmet. Under normal circumstances, you would see, of course, a logo of some sort, but not with these Canby uniforms.
Gold helmets with blue lettering on the side. Me, I prefer the solid gold, the Golden Domers of Notre Dame.
All right, into kick. Number 24, he just kicked the extra point. It's Chance Miller. And looks like it's going to go into the end zone. No, they're going to run it out. Vidakovic has it. He cuts across, running laterally. He might have been better off letting that one take a bounce into the end zone.
Only got back to the 15-yard line.
So cost themselves a few yards there, but when you have a talent but like Vidakovic does,
you know,
sometimes you got to take a chance.
There's a player in this game that when they get hot, they are really, really decisive, and that's Big Mo. Momentum. Right now, the Cougars have it.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that, but that was excellent. All right, they get a couple more yards, it turns out. Looks like they're going to start out at the 18-yard line. So Lincoln will be put to the test now. Bare minimum here, you want to get a couple first downs. Keep this crowd a little quiet.
14 straight points for the Cougars.
Fake the handoff, now looking over the middle, tipped and knocked away. Number 3 of the defense, Caden McMullen, had a chance there. And Vidakovic, the intended receiver, looks a little shaken up on the play. Officials timeout. Looks like he's going to walk off the field under his own power.
Remember, he had an issue on that long pass near the end of the first half.
We've seen him come up limping a few times now.
And he was tackled hard, you know, on that kickoff.
Second and 10. Jake Lightgeb claps his hands together. Looking to convert here. Handoff. Outside edge, outside the numbers, trying to get to the sideline, but Wilmot is knocked out of bounds after a short gain. So I'm really interested to see if they fail to convert here on third down, what they decide to do. Because we've already seen Lincoln go for it, as crazy as it sounds, at this part of the field. But yeah, like you said, momentum certainly in favor of Camby, so we would likely see a punt.
That decision in the first half to go for fourth down on your own 26 was bizarre.
It worked out for him.
It absolutely did.
2 receivers on the right side. Lightgeb under pressure, rolling right now. Right sideline, knocked down by the defensive back, Caden McMullen. And the crowd was hoping for an interception there. Dangerous pass there for Lightgeb. You got the sense he held on to that one for perhaps a little too long. Maybe you just want to throw that one away. I know when it's third down, you want to do everything you can to make that conversion.
Fourth down and 4 from the 24.
Brewer back to receive, and we've seen him do some big things here. The punt is tipped. It's going to take a roll up to the 47.
A 23-yard punt.
So Not exactly what they drew up there, I'm sure. And now the crowd has plenty of reason to cheer. With
Exactly.
8:56 on the clock here in the third quarter, the Cougars have scored 14 unanswered and now trail it by just 5.
That was a 23-yard punt, and that includes about a 6-yard roll at the end.
So now the Lincoln defense, they haven't had much time to rest. Checking into the game in the backfield is Jackson Valdro. So we've seen a trio of running backs involved in the offense as Valdro takes it for about 2 yards. Make it 2.5, maybe 3.
Canby is effectively using 3 different running backs here.
Yeah, we saw Ramos with a couple of big plays to start out the second half.
Then McMullen was in there, and now Valdro.
4 receivers. 3 stacked on the top of your screen. Low snap. Looking left. Has a man, but knocked away by the defense.
Almost picked off.
25, that's Wilmot. Right in the angle of the pillar, from my point of view. We got a few to battle through.
Third and 7.
Here's a snap, handoff, getting around the outside edge to the left. The ball is loose. Jerseys all over the place, falling on it.
That was Valdro on the carry. Lost a couple of yards on the fumble. It'll be 4th down.
Ball carrier was not down, but the Canby Cougars do recover. It is now 4th down. 4th and about 6 yards.
This is Caden Boyd, the punter, in.
So Boyd into punt. They're not going to take any chances. Wilmot back to receive. It's going to take a bounce and does go out of bounds.
Looked to me that went out of bounds inside the 5.
It sure did. Let's see where they spot it, but it'll be a tough starting position for the Lincoln Cardinals.
Well, I think they're going to spot it around the 8.
Let's tell you about our friends at Washman. Wash it at Washman. Enjoy a sparkling, clean car in only 3 minutes. Save time, save water, save rivers, and wash smart at Washman. It's better for your car and for the environment. Now at 12 convenient locations to serve you. Wash it at Washman. So it looks like the 8-yard line they spotted at.
I don't believe Vodakovich is back in the game.
Wilmot in motion. He's going to set up on the left. They're going to air it out right sideline. And Vodakovich is out there, and he's limping again. He's down.
Vodakovich went out around the 40-yard line. Pass was overthrown, and he immediately fell down out of bounds, and is still down.
He's clearly banged up. You see the trainer immediately going to tend to him. And this might be a situation where, you know, health always comes first. It might be something minor, might be just a cramp that's...
Right. That's what it looks like to me. The way he's down. And
bugging him. But now, if you're the coaching staff and the training staff, you've seen this a couple times. You don't want to take any chances. All right. Ball carrier is taken down quite quickly. Wilmot on the carry. Of course, they know much better than I do, but just from what we've seen so far, as he's still down on his back on the sideline, getting his legs stretched out there a little bit. Week 1, these kids want to play.
Wilmot, 41 yards on 10 carries.
6 52 on the clock. 3rd and 12, Lincoln pinned deep.
Trip receivers left.
Lykev has the snap. Looks to his left. Wilmot has the grab. No one in front of him. 2 men trailing. 40. Takes a dip. Taken down just shy of the 30-yard line. And Wilmot, I'm sure you would have loved to keep going there, but nothing to hang your head about there, young man. What an excellent play, as he's a little slow to get up.
Well, that play started on the 6th. That's 63 yards on the completion to Wilmot.
So it looked like initially he wanted to get up and then went back down. Hopefully he's okay.
He was not going to outrun everybody to the goal line, so he stopped and kind of tried to reverse directions. He might have twisted his ankle or something.
Well, he's going out on his own power, jogging along to the sideline, so it looks like he's okay. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. It was a hard tackle at the end of that play. Of course, no ill intent.
Well, he has the satisfaction of knowing he went 63 yards.
What a play. And back out on the field, we have number 5, Vidakovic. So if you're Lincoln, it's nice to have so many offensive options that are available to you for big plays. You can have someone like Wilmot trot off the field, and he's just replaced by somebody we know is capable. Handoff up the middle. Runs into a couple defenders there. Kopets with the carry for a short gain.
By the way, Jake Lykup now, 20 of 25 for 230 yards.
Lykup under center. Man in motion. Handoff. Wilmot. Up the middle for another short gain. I'm sorry, I keep getting those two confused. 25 and 26 look awfully similar from our vantage point.
Franzen.
Number 26, Jack Franzen. So between the tackles, we've seen Kopets and Franzen.
On the sweep plays, we see Wilmot.
Correct.
3rd and 7 at the 29.
Now we see Franzen, one of the trip receivers. Snap. Lykup looking to his left. Has a man, but intercepted. 30, 40, running up the sideline.
You know, Shane, I hate to say I saw that coming, but the receiver ran a slant route, and the defender saw that coming and stepped right in front.
Number 13 of the defense, Logan Doman, the senior, with the pick.
I'm trying to remember, is that our first turnover of the game?
We have had a fumble and a fumble recovery on a kickoff, so it is not. And we said the Camby crowd here, well represented. They don't need much to cheer about or to get cheering, and they're doing just that. If you're just joining us, the Cougars have scored the last 14 points, and now a big turnover and a penalty tacks on a few more yards. And Camby, in this 5-point game with the touchdown, could take their first lead of the ball game.
They're starting in Cardinal territory at the 45.
Quarterback Andrew Peters has the snap. He's going to take it himself. finds a hole up the middle, gets a first down and more.
16 yards on the pickup. His first carry of the game on the old belly series. Stick it in the belly of the running back, pull it out, take off on your own, 16 yards.
Andrew Peters awaits the snap, and we have a whistle.
Penalty marker on the play.
False start on the offense.
3:49 left to go in the third.
All right, so that'll quiet down the crowd for just a moment. As they back up 5 yards, it'll be 1st and 15. 4 receiver set now. 2 split on each side. Quarterback looking to his right. Under pressure. Evades, but now taken down for a big loss on the sack. Number 70 of the defense, the Lincoln Cardinals, with Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, a big kid, just a sophomore, 6'3", 245.
You know, I mentioned first carry for Peters for 16 yards. He just lost 15 of it on a sack.
So now, 2nd and 27. Backed up quite a bit on that play. Quarterback looks to the right now. Delayed handoff, finds a hole up the middle. Gets through a member of the secondary. And near the original line of scrimmage.
That was Ramos for those 17 yards he just got back.
And you can see the explosiveness out of the backfield for Ramos. He comes up limping just a tad, but looks like he's going to stay on the field. So now 3rd and 12, big spot here.
6 carries for 55 yards for Ramos.
Quarterback looks left. Has a man, deep, double coverage. Incomplete, knocked away. Is it intercepted?
Yes, I think the
It is intercepted.
Yes.
Taken away at the tail end of that play.
So what started out with an
Marko
interception?
Vidakovic.
What started out as an interception to give Canby the ball ends up with an interception for Lincoln to stop a touchdown.
Well, a big stop there for the Lincoln offense with all the momentum in favor of the Canby Cougars, or Lincoln defense, excuse me. And Vidakovic, we know he has good hands on the offensive end and showing it there into defense. Throwing into double coverage is always risky.
The interception was in the end zone. That's why the ball's out to the 20. Vidakovic, who had been limping, made a great play on the ball that time on the double coverage.
That's a big break for Lincoln, too. If they catch that one at the 1 yard line, it's a much different story.
Right.
Lightcap under center. Handoff, trying to go up the middle. About a 4 yard gain. Kopech with the carry.
Kopech, 4 carries for 10 yards.
Things moving quickly here in the third quarter. Just under the 2-minute mark. Like Yeb, another handoff. Trying to kick it out. Cross right tackle for another short gain. Now, 3rd down. Number 32 of the defense with the tackle. It's Gus Togney. Oh, excuse me. My apologies. 32.
Ryland
Weimer. All right, 3rd down. PA announcer trying to get the crowd pumped up, and they are going to oblige. 3rd and 3. Quarterback drops back, looking to his right. Has a man, but through the hands of Vidakovic. And now we will likely see the punt team on the field.
4th and 3 from the 27.
Just under a minute remaining here in the third quarter.
Lightgib, of course, is the punter. That gives him options back there, but too risky right here to do anything. Last time he got off a 23-yarder. Needs more this time.
The kick
and gets it.
Gets the distance. Picked up there just shy of the 40. Has some blockers out in front. We see a flag fly. We have a man down for Lincoln. Can't quite get eyes on who that is for the Lincoln Cardinals. Hopefully he's okay.
Well, that may be a cramp too, the way they're
could be
looking at him, but he tried to get up and then laid back down.
All right, recap of the action here in the third quarter. We went into the half with Lincoln leading 19-7. Canby took the opening kickoff down and scored. And then we're marching towards their second score. Couple turnovers back and forth. And now Canby back with the ball here with 45 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Let's take a moment to tell you about our sponsors. Trailblazer Foods. Founded in 1984, Trailblazer Foods is one of the Western United States' largest producers of preserves, jellies, and other sweetener and fruit-based products. Trailblazer Foods, which is Lincoln Cardinal football, great success for 2019. Here's the snap, and it's high and rolling backwards. Always dangerous spot. Kicker picks it up, takes a shot there at the end.
You know, it was only a matter of time till they snapped the ball over his head. They'd been flirting with that all night long.
Clock continues to run. Clock should be stopped, right? What's going on there? All right. Nobody seems to be correcting it, so we'll let it roll. I think they're going to run out of time, though. That's going to do it here at the end of the third quarter. I had to cut off that last read. I want to remind you to call Trailblazer Foods today at 503-666-5800 or check them out online at trailblazerfoods.com. All right, we've seen the pendulum shift a little bit here, Dave. Camby has had some opportunities, but just then a little bit of a slip up.
Well, Canby has scored both in the second quarter and the third quarter, a touchdown in each quarter. Cardinal got all their points, all 19 in the second quarter. That's where we stand, 19-14.
So if you're the Lincoln Cardinals, you went into that first half, or went into halftime, I should say, feeling quite good about your performance, taking a little bit of a step back there in the third quarter, but the big interception by Vidakovic perhaps preventing the Canby Cougars from taking a lead. And I mentioned early on in the third quarter, perhaps those two opportunities going for two could come up costly, and right now a 5-point game, you never know.
Exactly.
So now Lincoln here's a handoff. Good yardage gained.
Well, it was 2nd and 33, so now we got another player slow to get up. I think that's Ramos. And you can see he's got his foot up in the air. You know, that's always a sign of cramps.
Yep. We got players on both sides.
You know,
So what am I missing here? I feel like I'm missing something. We had Camby. They were attempting a punt, right?
no. What do you mean attempting a punt?
It's week 1. I'm lost. It was a snap. It was a regular snap.
It was a regular snap. That's why I kept
It
looking
went-
at you like you said the
It-
clock should be stopped. I go, for what?
It's week 1, Dave.
Okay.
Cut me some slack.
Okay.
The snap was so high that
Right.
my brain just shortcutted,
Okay, I got you. Under those circumstances, you'd be right.
and I have no reprieve here. We're on the air. I just got to figure it out. Makes sense now.
Right. And
That's-
so it was 2nd and 33. Now it's 3rd and 29. And that's Ramos' problem. He's headed over right to the water dispenser.
That's what you're here for.
You know, nothing is more painful than a cramp when you get it. I mean, I granted it's not like a broken bone, but boy, for a few minutes it's debilitating.
Dave Hall is here to keep me in check, and that one was off of the Lincoln Cardinal, number 32 of the defense, Gus Togney. You've seen him on the action on a few plays.
It'll still be 4th and 24, though.
Yeah, so 4th and long, and now we are going to see the punt
Now,
that I thought
exactly.
may have already happened.
It was easy to make that mistake. He was standing so far back.
Yeah, that's true. It was sometimes your brain and your eyes, they just communicate differently.
Watch out that doesn't hit somebody.
Takes a bounce
And it actually did.
right at midfield.
Boys punt was out of bounds at the Canby 48-yard line.
It bounced up and actually hit Riley Spangler inbound and then went out of bounds. So,
I think the bounce might have been out of bounds, but either way, they're going to spot it.
right. It made no difference either way. But
Sure. At the 48-yard line, so Lincoln will start in Cougar territory, just barely.
11:36 left to go in this game, 19-14. 2 botched extra points for Lincoln. Really, as Shane said, may come back to hurt them.
Well, if they can score here, that will
Exactly.
perhaps end that minor anxiety at this time. Like Geb under center. We've seen him in a few different positions. He's going to keep it himself, but run into trouble. Number 51 of the defense in on the tackle.
Lost 2.
That's Cole Schaefer.
He was brought down by number 51, Paul Schaffner.
Schaffner, excuse me.
Brings up 2nd.
You know, that looked like an option play. Like it came down to the line of scrimmage and looked like he wanted to pitch the ball to somebody and all of a sudden just come to a dead stop.
Yeah, there was a crowd of red helmets around there, but once he decided to take it himself, there was really not much he could do with it. 11 minutes to go. 4th quarter action. Good ball game. 5 points the difference. Lincoln Cardinals will have to wait till week 3 to play their first home game. We have a whistle.
That game, of course, will be against Franklin on the 20th.
Delay a game for the Lincoln Cardinals. I believe they're 2nd of the ball game.
Coach Jeremy Johnson asked me tonight when I was over talking to him, he said, Dave, I got a student, not a football player, a student, who wants to go into radio broadcasting. Can he come over and sit with you guys at the Franklin game?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I told him yeah, absolutely.
Likev looking to his left, rolling left, under pressure, has a man behind him. He gets rid of it, and good for him. They make the completion because he had a man on his back. Charles Wilmot with the reception.
Brings up 3rd and 15.
Still a long way to go, 3rd and 15.
Yeah, a gain of 2.
You're talking about the high school kid who has an interest in broadcasting. My only regret is not recognizing that I wanted to pursue broadcasting sooner in life. I was in my 20s by the time I wanted to give it a shot.
I was 36.
You one up to me there. Quarterback rolling left, has a man along the sideline, completes it. No, is he incomplete? I saw two different judges. No, he completes it. He's about a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, I was 36. You know, I'd thought about it as a kid, but becoming a lawyer got in the way of me being a sports broadcaster.
I think you probably made the right decision.
Yeah. 4th and 1. Cardinal going to go for another 4th down conversion.
They've converted a few already. Handoff up the middle, need one. It's going to be close.
I think he got it. I think by the slimmest of margins.
You can see the line judge on the near side of the field. Based on where he's standing, I don't think they got it.
Right. And I don't think he's standing where the referee's going to mark it.
It's going to be very close, perhaps the closest call we've had in the ball game.
I think they want the chains.
Yep, they're going to measure this.
But clearly you can see it's marked ahead of where the line judge was over here.
Absolutely. Looks like it's right at the 38-yard line.
And the flag is at the 38.
It is.
This will be close.
So based on where the ball is, I think they got it.
Right. I think by the smallest of margins, they have it.
Let's wait for the official signal.
All right, going to stretch out the chain.
Based on where that chain is starting, I think they got it.
Yep.
Make sure. Oh, no, they backed it up a little.
Trying to stretch it out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I feel like that is so close. So close.
Wow. I couldn't see the distance, but it was minuscule.
I feel like where it was set up on the sideline and where it ended up on the field.
We're not the same?
No.
I don't think they were.
But it's an inexact science. You know, with all the technology in the world that we have now, we're still dealing with the chain gang.
Exactly.
All right, Camby, they're pumped up. Home crowd here at the home of the Cougars. Low snap, picked up, airs out, over the middle, into double coverage.
Oh, he had a receiver open.
Yeah, he was open on the right side.
Just overthrew him. That was number 9 for the Canby Cougars. That was Tyler Mead, who scored a touchdown already.
He's had a big play earlier in the ball game. So the clock stops at 8:44.
And Peters is 9 of 19 passing.
Trying to run up the middle for a couple of yards. Gets up to the 40. You know, we talked earlier about your eyes and your brain not communicating properly or confusing each other. When I was getting my start in baseball, and I'm sure you know this, a lot of times the ball's hitting the air. You're not really looking for the ball. A lot of times you're not going to be able to pick it up. You're looking at the fielders. And I'll get to that in just a second. As here's the snap, quarterback rolling to the left. Has a man, it's caught there on the sideline across midfield. That's number 33, Caden Boyd. First down with just over 8 minutes. Cougars threatening to take the lead. I'll cut to the chase on that story. Every once in a while you watch a fielder loses the ball. You think it's going to be a routine catch, and then the ball lands 20 feet in front of him.
The hard one is home runs. You think a ball is hit way deep, and it's not. It's just hit high.
Oh, yeah.
Shortstop catches it.
All right, another low snap. They're going to hand it off. No, he keeps it himself. Goes up the middle, across the 40.
Close
Shy
to
of
the first down.
9 yards on the carry. The quarterback keeper for Andrew Peters. They faked the handoff to Wyatt Ramos, who we've seen some excellent plays from, keeping it on the ground.
The clock right at 8:01.
Cougars with 2 timeouts remaining. Lincoln with the full set of 3. They hand it off to Ramos. He's going to get that 1 yard and then some across the 35-yard line.
56 yards now carries on the carries for Wilson Ramos. He would be the leading rusher in the game.
Yeah, Lincoln hasn't done much on the ground besides that opening possession. Charles Wilmot getting a couple big carries.
He has 38, Wilmot does.
And another quarterback keeper finds a hole on the left side, taken down from behind by a couple defenders.
9 yards on the pickup for Peters.
26-yard line. Number 70 in on the tackle for the defense. That's Tyler Smith. We've said his name a few times here this evening. But the Lincoln defense being tested here, 2nd and 2.
I don't. Peters just checked out. He's on the side. Well, no, he came over and got a play. Is what he did. He checked back in.
Peters there, handoff, and finally they are able to put a stop to Wyatt Ramos. But they didn't need much for the first down. It looks like he got 1 yard on the play.
Needed 2, got 1, but it's only 3rd down now.
Well, they might not have even given him that 1. Yeah, it looks like we're going to try again, 3rd and 2. Quarterback awaits the snap. 3 receiver set on the right side. Has it. Handoff to Ramos, and he evades the first tackler, runs into trouble after the second attempt, though, and we have a flag at the end of the play. That could be costly for Lincoln.
The Canby players are clapping their hand.
Yeah, Ramos was limping. Not sure what happened there. It is a penalty on Lincoln.
Well, I haven't seen a signal yet as to what the penalty is.
They haven't marked it off yet, but you can see the Lincoln defense backing up.
They haven't even signaled what it is.
Either way, whatever it is, it's costly.
It's a 15-yard penalty. Has to be a personal foul.
Yeah, some sort of personal foul there at the end of the play. And now with 6:11 on the clock, a 5-point game, Camby has an excellent opportunity to take the lead. 1st down and 10 from the 13. Quarterback rolling left, under pressure, airs it out.
Boy, dangerous.
Incomplete.
Threw into triple coverage.
Number 24, Chance Miller, the intended receiver. Andrew Peters. You know, a lot of times, especially early in season, you see teams splitting time between quarterbacks. Not these two teams.
Both quarterbacks have gone the distance.
Here's the snap. They fake the handoff. Looking left again. Has a man this time. Is he kept out of the end zone? He is. A big shot at the end. Vidakovic, once again, for the Cardinals, he's a bit shaken up on the sideline.
Is that enough for a first down? They needed to get to the 3.
Yeah, they do announce the first down. It'll be 1st and goal. Taking a look at the sideline, Marko Vidakovic still shaken up there on the sideline. We've said his name a few times now, Dave, where he's clearly been banged up after a play. So 1st and goal, and Vidakovic still on the sideline, but they're going to go ahead and run a play here. He's on the near sideline, to be clear. That, of course, is the Camby sideline. He's being assisted by the trainer.
What do you think? We're going to see Ramos on a carry in the middle this time?
If I was head coach Jimmy Joyce, that's probably my first plan of attack. Ramos in the backfield. The crowd not thrilled about the delay.
And Vidakovic in the end zone, headed across the field now. I'm not sure if they're waiting for him to clear.
Yeah, he's jogging across now, back to the Lincoln sideline. And movement on the offense. And immediately backing up, number 69, or 68 perhaps.
Well, it was first and goal at the 3, now it'll be first and goal at the 8.
If it was 68, that's Connor Morris. Although it looks like a 9 from here. We don't have a 69 on the roster. Oh, I'm sorry, 69 is Peyton Martin.
Right.
We wrote that one in. And breaking free into the end zone.
Wyatt Ramos on the carry for 8 yards and the touchdown.
Wyatt Ramos with the 8-yard touchdown. Great second effort there. And with 5:41 on the clock, the Cougars take their first lead of the ballgame. We see, look like on the sideline, I saw some signals indicating that they would be going for 2.
If it got 2, it would be a 3-point lead, and a field goal wouldn't beat you.
So it looked like Ramos got stopped there initially on that play, but great second effort and able to get into the end zone.
The key to that is to stay on your feet, keep your legs moving. He did, and he just kind of bounced off everybody, ran it in.
That takes a lot of lower body strength to pull that off. Okay, they are going to go for 2, it looks like. Ramos remains in the game, tailback. 3 receivers set to the left, 1 on the right side.
They're on the right hash mark. I'm sure they're going to shift out of this.
Nope, here's the snap, rolling left. Has a man, corner end zone, piece of cake. Made that look easy. Chance Miller with the 2-point reception.
The significance of that is the lead is 3. If Lincoln comes down and kicks a field goal, we get a tie. So smart move on the part of Canby. And they executed well to get that. Oregon used to do that all the time, line up off center and then switch back into the middle. But that time, Camby went with the snap right out of that on the right hash mark.
So one thing to consider, we had mentioned a few times, the 2 different times that Lincoln had failed to convert on a 2-point conversion. If they had instead, let's say, gone for a kick, or just made one of those 2-point conversions, and it was tied, or excuse me, it would have been 21-20 going into the extra point attempt, I'd venture to guess that Camby just kicks it and we have a tie game. But instead, it's a 3-point ball game. And if you're Lincoln, Still plenty of time. You got a full set of timeouts. No reason to panic. We know this offense has plenty of talent. Chance Miller will kick with Wilmot back to receive. We know Miller has plenty of leg on him, so we'll see if Wilmot attempts to run back a kick or maybe lets it go. It's going to be a deep one. He's backing up, but he is going to take it. Across the 15, and he's going to fall short of that 20-yard line. So they don't lose much, about 2 yards. So 1st and 10 going left to right, just over 5.5 minutes remaining here for the Lincoln Cardinals. They are the visitors. We are at the home of the Cougars, Canby High School. The crowd has gotten plenty to cheer about here in the second half. Lincoln has not scored in this half. All of their scoring coming in the second quarter. 3 touchdowns. But quarters 1, 3, and 4, zeros thus far. Hoping to change that. Lightgap drops back, looks over the middle, has a man, plenty of room. Philippi with the grab, stays on his feet, shy of the 40. Nice catch and run by Philippi.
22 yards on the completion, Lightgap to Philippi.
So certainly the start you were looking for the Lincoln offense here on this possession.
254 yards passing in the game for Jake Lightgap. Vodakovich out here split out on the right. Wow.
He keeps proving us wrong. He goes down, he comes back. Little bit of a communication with Lightgab and number 26 in that slot position. Lightgab looks that way, and it's incomplete, and looking for a flag. They're not going to get it.
And Vodakovich got his hands up in the air saying, why not? He got shoved back towards the outside.
Well, I think him and Wilmot were looking for a flag. There was contact all over the place.
2nd and 10 from the 38. Both receivers that time thought they had been pushed.
All right, 2nd and 10, far hash mark going left to right, 38-yard line. Still 3 timeouts for the Lincoln Cardinals, now trailing by 3 points.
Vodakovich ran a hook route last time.
2 safeties deep for the Cougars. We have another whistle. This could be a timeout. It is.
When I was a kid, we called that pass pattern a button hook.
Lincoln calling a timeout. Head coach Jeremy Johnson in his 2nd year coaching the Lincoln Cardinals, looking for a now comeback victory here in the 4th quarter. They had led the whole way until just a few seconds ago. Camby managing to take the lead. What do you think they're drawing up here, Dave?
Well, I still think the intention, if he can catch the ball, is to go to Vodakovich on the outside. You know, he's ran a couple of routes where he went down about 10 yards and kind of curled back to the middle. Maybe they're thinking about a stop and go here.
Let's take a moment to tell you about Trailblazer Foods. Founded in 1984, Trailblazer Foods is one of the Western United States' largest producers of preserves, jellies, and other sweetener and fruit-based products. Trailblazer Foods wishes Lincoln Cardinal football great success for 2019. Call them today at 503-666-5800 or check them out at trailblazerfoods.com. Lightgab awaits the snap, has it, looks to his right. Airs it out, deep, Wilmot has room, 30, 20, 10, touchdown Cardinals.
62 yards on the completion from Lightgab to Wilmot, and a touchdown, and the Cardinal back in the lead.
Cardinals are pumped up, and rightfully so. They didn't take much time off the clock at all, and now with the 25-22 lead with the extra point upcoming. And I'd be surprised if they didn't kick it here. Just take the most likely outcome.
Right, they want just one because they get a 4-point lead then.
They do kick, and it's through the uprights. Line drive kick gets the job done. So with 4:34 remaining, it is a 4-point lead for the Lincoln Cardinals, and the momentum back in their favor. Each team with 2 timeouts. But a nice response there for the Lincoln offense, who had struggled here in the second half up until that point.
All right, let me give you the new numbers for Jake Lightgeb. 316 yards passing, including 3 completions of more than 60 yards.
If Jake Lightgeb wasn't the first quarterback off the board in the PIL Fantasy League, maybe you made a mistake.
Right. And that is 19 of 30 for 316 yards.
So just over 4.5 minutes remaining here in week 1.
I didn't think we could
action.
I didn't think we'd have 40 points in this game. We got 48 right now.
Yeah, first quarter was scoreless. Plenty of scoring sense.
All right, Spencer Davis to try to kick this ball deep.
Davies with the kick. Picked up there at the 10. We've seen some good runbacks so far, and he finds a hole, kicks it out to the left, outside the numbers. Now we have a flag in the backfield. Stays on his feet across midfield.
I think that's an illegal block in the back.
So a very big run there.
And you can see the Camby players are walking back. I saw it as he turned the corner. There was a Lincoln defender there who got pushed in the back.
You can hear the groans in the crowd a little bit.
It's coming back.
They were excited about that play. So yeah, they're going to back this one up quite a bit. Inside the 20. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 19. Canby Cougars moving right to left. Led by their senior quarterback, Andrew Peters, who has had a nice recovery here in the second half after a sluggish performance in the first half. Not certainly all his fault as they run it up the hash mark.
By the way, Peters is 12 of 22 passing.
Several dropped passes. So like I said, Peters' performance a little better than the numbers may dictate. 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard run up the middle. Shy of 4 minutes remaining on the clock. 4-point lead for the Lincoln Cardinals. They fake the handoff, rolling back. Incomplete. Intended for number 20.
Great defensive work that time by the Lincoln defender, number 32, and that is Gus Downey.
Kyle Sander, the intended receiver. 3rd and 7.
I'll tell you this, I doubt Canby punts on what.
I was just about to say. I think it might be 4th down territory, but we'll see. Quarterback looking deep.
Airs it out, overthrown.
Number 4, the intended receiver, Ronan Gay.
Gay has a touchdown reception in the game, and great defensive work back there by the defensive back not to let Gay get behind him. It was overthrown anyway, but still great coverage.
I think we are going to see a punt here. There's lots of
we are going to
people
punt.
checking in and out.
Let's see.
So just over 3.5 minutes remaining. They do have 2 timeouts. So now you're putting it into the hands of your defense to make a big stop and give your offense one more opportunity.
By the way, that coverage last time, that was Matt Philippi. And look who's back to take the punt, Vidakovic.
So we've seen a few different options to return for Lincoln, and they're going to let this bounce across midfield. Rolls a little bit at the 45-yard line.
Are we going to see any passes, or are the Cardinals going to try to take some time off by running the ball here?
If I'm the Cardinals, I try to keep it on the ground, although with that said, they haven't had a lot of success on the ground.
Exactly. Leading rusher for the Cardinal is Charles Wilmot with 38 yards.
A lot of that came on, I believe, what was the first play on offense of the game.
He had 14 on the first play. He had 20 on the first 2 carries, so not much since then.
All right, let's see what head coach Jeremy Johnson draws up here for the first ball game of the 2019 season, with his team leading by 4 with 3:25 remaining on the clock. Like Geb, under center. Wilmot in motion. They're going to hand it off. They do keep it on the ground, but running into a wall of defenders.
Each team with 2 timeouts.
Give the defensive line a lot of credit here in this game for the Canby Cougars.
And the Cougars take one of those timeouts right there.
Yep, they're not going to mess around. They have 1 timeout remaining. There's no 2-minute warning worth pointing out
right
here at the high school level. And so that'll give both teams a moment to reset and give us a moment to tell you about our sponsors. We have the Daily Feast. The Daily Feast is a hub for quick and affordable eats, serving the Lincoln community since 2016. Breakfast, lunch, brunch, and after-school specials at 837 Southwest 11th Avenue. Go Cards. When you look to remodel or upgrade your home, you want to work with a trusted, certified remodeling professional. Homeowners in the Portland metro area have selected Wacker Remodel for over 30 years to provide them with efficient, high-quality craftsmanship for all phases of remodeling. Call Scott Wacker today at 503-539-9650 for a free consultation. Go Cardinal football.
When's the last time you thought about the Cardinals having 400 total yards of offense of the game and 325 of it being in the air?
Definitely a different vibe to the 2019 season, but I like what I've seen thus far.
I like it too. Second down and 10 on ball on the 44, 3:17 to go.
Cardinals moving left to right. 2 receivers at the top of the screen. Wilmot in motion. They hand it off to Wilmot. Seen this a number of times. He turns the corner outside the numbers, stays on his feet, gets about 8 yards, I'd say.
Close to the first down marker over there on the far sideline. And they've been successful. I'll say this. The times Wilmot has gotten around the corner there without getting hit, he's picked up good yardage.
So a long 1 yard to go, maybe 1.5.
It'll be interesting to see if they don't pick it up. Do they go for it on 4th down with all of their 4th down attempts this game?
So the Cougars electing not to use their final timeouts. So the clock continues to run. And they're going to sneak it.
And they have the first down.
That's got
huge.
Plenty of distance.
Huge.
Lightgeb tosses the ball. We have a flag at the end of the play.
One timeout left. If the Cardinal got 4 more downs, they can run this clock almost out.
So interesting to see what they call here.
Well, I haven't seen the actual signal yet,
Well,
although the Cardinal are moving back. It's on the Cardinal.
Yeah, I saw a signal. I didn't quite pick up what it was. And there was no contact that I saw. So perhaps it was a vocal infraction.
Well, that would be a personal foul and mark off 15. I don't think the Cardinal have moved back that far. See if this is a 5-yarder. Nope.
No, I think
15.
I think my initial suspicion may have been correct. So, fortunately for the Cardinals, it's after the play, so they get the first down.
Exactly. You know, you're right. This is week 1. I lose track of things a little bit. That was a first down. That was a personal foul after the first down. Back it up, but now it still is first down. Huge break for the Cardinal.
Yeah. And you never really want to move back, but in this situation when they're trying to milk clock.
Right. 1 timeout left for the Cougars. They probably have to take it after this snap.
Yeah, I think they have to. So Cardinals very likely to run the ball for the remainder of this possession. They do. Wilmot looking for a hole. Finds a small one, gets maybe a yard.
And I think the
Yep, we
signal
hear
is
a whistle.
I think the signal is timeout for Canby. That'll be their last one, and it is. 2 minutes. After this, let's see, if the Cardinal use up all the time, they could run this clock down to about 30 seconds. Take the whole time to snap the ball.
You know what I did, Dave, during the offseason? I got a new car. Well, maybe not brand new, but new to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's about due for a wash. What do you do when you need a car wash?
You go to Washman.
You go to Washman. Wash it at Washman. Enjoy a sparkling clean car in only 3 minutes. Save time, save water, save rivers, and wash smart at Washman. It's better for your car and for the environment. Now at 12 convenient locations to serve you. Wash it at Washman.
So what kind of car did we get?
I got a Volkswagen Golf GTI.
Oh, nice.
I'm a big fan. Two minutes and 2 seconds. Lincoln
If there was
hoping that Camby does not get another opportunity.
right, if there was a 2-minute clock, that would really help Canby,
Oh, yeah.
but there's not.
So Lincoln, 1 first down should get the job done.
2nd and 8. No,
They
no,
are
no,
gonna air
no.
it out, but it's complete. Wilmot stays on his feet for a little bit.
Oh, scary. Gets about half of that 8.
So the clock will continue to run, but a little surprising to throw the ball there, because if that ball is incomplete, of course the clock stops.
Shows you how much confidence Jeremy Johnson has in the quarterback.
You're absolutely right, and that's got to feel very good for that young man.
You know, the play comes in from the side and it's a pass, and the quarterback goes, "You want me to do what?"
So now it's an absolute certainty. If they can get this first down, they can go into the victory formation. 5 yards to go, and now Lincoln is going to take a timeout. Make sure they've crossed their T's and dotted their I's.
They ran the clock down to the last second before they took that. So clock won't start till it's snapped, and Lincoln gets the benefit of the whole amount of time there.
Let's tell you one more time about our friends at Trailblazer Foods. Founded in 1984, Trailblazer Foods is one of the Western United States' largest producers of preserves, jellies, and other sweetener and fruit-based products. Trailblazer Foods wishes Lincoln Cardinal football great success for 2019. Call them today at 503-666-5800. Check them out at trailblazerfoods.com. So you see the Cardinal in the away stands.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's picked up on our cameras, but the mascot traveling here to Camby, now along the sideline.
And was up in the stands over there.
Cardinals always traveling well.
I don't know if you look, not only are a lot of people in stands, they got people along at both end zones.
Oh, yeah. They're everywhere.
Here we go.
3rd and 5. Lincoln converts here. That should do it. Wilmot in motion. Drops back.
It's got a man.
Incomplete.
Oh,
That'll stop the clock at 107.
a crossing route by Philippi that time came from left to right, and Lightgip threw the ball just behind him.
So now what?
Now you punt the ball. Punt it as far
Yep.
as you can.
They are gonna
Don't get it
bring-
blocked.
They're going to bring the punt team on. We've seen some very good returns.
Now your safeties don't play 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. They play 20 or 25.
This looks like it might be a no. Now he backs up. So number 25 for the Cougars is back to receive. That's Brewer. And the kick, end over end.
Nice
Gonna
kick,
take
let
a
it bounce.
and a very friendly bounce. Can they stop it inside the 5?
Inside the 2.
Couldn't ask for anything better if you're the Lincoln Cardinals.
Ran-
I'm a little surprised that Brewer let that one bounce.
Ran 12 seconds off the clock for that play, a punt play. You know,
So now, with under a minute remaining and no timeouts, the Cougars will look for a big play.
Canby could have saved themselves about 5 seconds there by fair catching the ball.
Yeah, very surprised by that.
No timeouts. See where the safeties are now. They're 20 yards off the line of scrimmage.
So from his own end zone, as they drop it, picked up quickly, airs it out over the middle, dangerous pass,
Oh.
incomplete, out of the reach of Philippi, the defender.
Peters was falling backwards and let it go, and you know when
Yep.
that happens, you don't have anything on the ball.
Always dangerous.
And Philippi almost picked that off.
It looks like a player down for the Cougars.
4 seconds went off the clock that time.
Just out of our sight line, I can just see his leg there being stretched out there by the trainer now as
Oh,
we
and
see
he-
a couple bodies move along
Right,
the
he's
sideline.
actually on the field.
Yeah. All right, looks like he's going to be okay. Nope.
Well, you know, first game of the season, not drinking enough water, a little
Yeah.
muggy, cramps.
That's number 25, Jaden Brewer. Hope that young man's okay. But we got a big play. Andrew Peters being tested, has the snap, looks to his left, has a man caught there across the 10, stays on his feet, spins forward up to the 15.
He should have got out of bounds, is what
Yep.
he should have done. He got about 2 or 3 yards by fighting inbounds. He should have just ran out. Would have saved him about 7 seconds.
Yep, and Philippi for the Cardinals a little banged up.
Philippi didn't let that runner go out of bounds either. What do we got? Clock has stopped. They're pointing. The referee was pointing at Philippi. I think
I think it was a referee timeout because they knew.
he's hurt.
Yeah,
Hurt his wrist, I think.
he was looking around. He didn't know what to do, and then he saw the offense setting up, so he was going to stay out there.
They stopped the clock, and I think the referee thought he was hurt and wanted him to get off the field. I don't know whether he's actually, he's headed off the field. I think he hurt his wrist.
Yeah. So the crowd is looking to add a couple more seconds to the clock. And it's a timeout for the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals,
So they use their final timeout with 39.4 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter.
I'm not sure why the Cardinals took the timeout. It may be to see if Philippi can stay in the game.
Yep. You're not going to have many more opportunities to use it.
The goal now is to keep those receivers in bounds if you can.
Back and forth action here in the fourth quarter. Lincoln had an early 19-7 lead heading into halftime. The Cougars then dominated the third quarter, took the lead here in the fourth, but Lincoln responding with a touchdown of their own, now up by 4 with just shy of 40 seconds remaining.
Let's see if Philippi is among the group headed back out here. I don't
Don't see
let's
him.
see. I don't see him. He's number 11.
All right, they don't add any time to the clock. Quarterback looks to his right, has a man. It's caught there. Can he get out of bounds? He does.
7 seconds off the clock.
So a first down with 7 seconds off the clock, exactly.
That was Mario Ambrose who took Philippi's place over here on the right.
Quarterback looking to his left now, has a man. Can he get out of bounds across the 35? He does. 24 on the reception. Chance Miller.
27 seconds left in the game. Ball out to the 38-yard line.
All right, defense. Got to make a stop here for the Lincoln Cardinals, or at least keep them in bounds.
A field goal won't help in this game.
Deep ball, right sideline, dangerous. Caught! Intercepted!
Let's make sure he came down with.
I think he got it. We're not seeing any signal on the field.
Everybody's coming back to the line of scrimmage.
They're saying incomplete. So, little ahead of myself there, but that'll stop the clock at 19.7.
2nd and 10, 19-7 left in the game. The ball on the 38-yard line. Peters let that one fly.
So my apologies, jumping the gun there. 19.7, low snap, picks it up, looks over the middle, incomplete.
Almost picked off there in the middle by Wilmot.
Wilmot had a chance as it landed at its feet. So now 3rd and 10. Lots of action here in the remaining seconds of the ball game. 4th quarter, Lincoln leading by 4. 3rd and 10. Andrew Peters, quarterback, waits the snap, empty backfield, 4 receivers. Caught there, out of bounds is number 3, Caden McMullen.
Picked up 7 yards, ball out to the 45. He got out of bounds quickly. Canby comes to the line of scrimmage. Like I said, a field goal won't win this game.
They're making progress, but still 55 yards to go. Looking right. Incomplete. Wilmot on the coverage.
That used up 7 seconds. Now there's 5 seconds. Pretty much you're going to have to Hail Mary this. This is 4th down and 3. Well, let's see. The catch. Oh, it was ruled a catch out of bounds. That was 4th down.
Okay, so that's going to do it.
That was 4th down. It was 4th and 3. The catch was made. He was out of bounds. And so
the previous one I thought was intercepted. It wasn't. It was broken up. But after all that, they do get it done.
Okay. Just the victory formation. Just kneel down. No timeouts.
That's going to do it. And for the Lincoln Cardinals and their quarterback, Jake Lightgeb, they will start this season 1-0, a comeback 4th quarter victory. Final score, Lincoln Cardinals win it 26-22 over the Canby Cougars. What a game, Dave.
I'm impressed by what I've seen from the Lincoln Cardinal. You know, they've diversified the offense. They threw for 316 yards tonight. Jake Lightgeb looked very poised. They have some receivers who can catch the ball and got some speed. I think things bode well for the Lincoln Cardinal.
Think back to last year, the star of the offense, Osmo, getting it done on the ground, defensively, doing a little bit of everything. Here, I think they have an equal amount of talent, but perhaps a little more spread out over the course of the roster.
Gave up 22 points, 1 touchdown in each one of the last 3 quarters, but got that touchdown. Got a lead, hung on to the lead, lost the lead, and still came back and scored on a long pass play. And so it showed really a lot of character on the part of the Lincoln Cardinal. Remember, next week they'll be on the road at Southridge, and we'll be doing that game, so you'll want to come back and catch us. You can go to OregonSportsBeat.com and get our schedule of all of our upcoming events.
Give a lot of credit to the Canby Cougars. Tonight, they battled back from an early deficit to take the lead only to fall just short here at their home opener here in week 1.
Last year, 40-7. This year, 26-22.
Before we go, we want to tell you about our sponsors one more time. Washman. Wash it at Washman. Enjoy a sparkling clean car in only 3 minutes. Save time, save water, save rivers, and wash smart at Washman. It's better for your car and for the environment. Now at 12 convenient locations to serve you. Wash it at Washman. I will be out next week, but Dave Hall will be bringing you the action here next week on Oregon Sports Beat. So don't miss that for more Lincoln football.
Next week, Kurt Goldsdorf, the former head girls basketball coach from Oregon City, who's now coaching at Clackamas Community College, will join us. I want to thank both coaches tonight for meeting with us and giving us information. Our crew tonight, Jim Thompson, our director, our producer, cameraman, Ryan Johnson.
Once again, Lincoln gets the job done here in week 1. That's going to wrap things up for Dave Hall. I'm Shane Downey saying so long here on Oregon Sports Beat.